All right, so we are recording. Okay. So first thing I did was I just did a search. I heard your name because I was referred to you, and I want to look for you, or a friend said something. I looked for you. Now you'll notice when I just type your name, I got Glasgow, Kentucky. That's because one of two things: this person is more dominant, or in an internet presence, or it knows that I'm closer to Kentucky. So I would ask you to type your name and see what happens, right? Now, you notice, I want to point out one thing. See where it says mercy.net, this guy, hand surgeon, plastic surgery. And you notice that this says 137 reviews. And then we've got David C. German, Glasgow, Kentucky, 3.9. He only has 7, but that's on vitals. So reviews matter. So if I put Erie, Pennsylvania, this is where we would start seeing you. Now, you notice it shows St. Vincent Orthopedic Institute. Google knows people that are looking for a doctor in Erie, Pennsylvania. Here's theirs. Obviously, Dr. Lupo isn't you, but he's on the list of doctors in Erie, Pennsylvania. Scrolling down, and Google pulls certain things to determine what to display. And this is called a 3-pack, but they only have 2 showing today. U.S.
Yeah, I'd like my name obviously in there.
Obvious. Now, the fact that we have to localize, that's something I need to ask you to double check to make sure it isn't a geographic thing, because I'm in Nashville. So Louisville, Kentucky is, Glasgow, Kentucky is closer, right? Okay. So here you are, but U.S. News is your #1 result. That's a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be.
Well, it's because U.S. News is U.S. News, Health Grades, and unfortunately Vitals is trusted by Google as an accurate source of information. U.S. News pulls all of their data from the NPI. So it's going to be as correct as your NPI data. Health Grades, they get reviews. They show people here, and notice it has your name, what you do, and where you're at. Your name, Health Grades has it in there. They just put reviews, but they got where you're at. So there's a consistency across all of these. WebMD is there, ShareCare, Indeed, DocsMD, etc. Now that's the first page of results. Your practice is on the second page.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, there's a reason. Look what it says. Meet our doctors, Orthopedic Institute of St. Vincent. Your name's not there. Your location's not there. So it's not good. Oh, sorry. But it's still better than AHN. Second page. That's terrible. This result here in organic results gets 39% of clicks. This gets 11 to 15. This gets about 9%. And everything after it is low single digits per click. Okay? So I'm showing you that you notice the top ones. What's your name? What do you do? Where do you work? Very simple, right? So when we look at meet our doctors, it's got your name, but it doesn't have any location, any information, and you're all lumped on one page. So there's no individualization. That's a terrible mistake to do that. Usually, and honestly, iHealthSpot knows better. I don't know why they did this, and I've seen them where they usually have broken out things. So this website is bad. Your practice, your personal website, it's down at the moment, right?
It never went live.
Okay.
But hopefully you've been able, I gave a link. Hopefully you can access that link.
Yes, I got it, and I did, and it said something about this needs to be activated or something. Okay, so that's why from your presence right now, your practice website is doing poorly because for your presence, because the way it's set up. Your other website, when people search for you in Erie, your AHN site is even worse because although they do have your name and they do have reviews, but they are mixed in very deep into a much larger site. So they have this very large site with lots of things, lots of location, lots of everything. It's just almost too broad. Now, I see that there are reviews being done. They're obviously being done the right way. And you can't see this, but when we go to look at these, there's all this little gibberish in here. This is all the code underneath. And somewhere in here, they have a schema and some other things that tells Google that this is accurate information. So they did that right, but see, it says up here in the tab, find a doctor. So the tab right here, find a doctor, Allegheny Health Network, but it has your name on it on a subdomain. So that might sound like a little gibberish, but if Google doesn't like your title, it fixes it. So they knew this is about you, they fixed your title. When they had to do that, they put it on a lower level. See, when I go to US News, it says exactly what Google shows. See up here, this title? That's your most important piece of real estate. That little tab right up there, because that's what Google looks at. So if you have a page on your own website or on your practice website that has your name, what you do, and where you work in the title, it would rank higher than you have on your current presence. Okay, so that's how brand, how you show up works. You have to have proper titling and SEO and localization. You got to have your name there.
Let me ask you this question. When we get to the end point of my site and things are working, this is no longer going to happen when I type in my name. It really doesn't make me feel very happy that people type in my name and my partner's name comes up. You're going to correct that, right?
Yeah. So here's a client, Thomas Hopkins, MD, Encino. There he is. That's his website. That's yes.
That's not going to take hopefully months and months to happen, right? I mean,
no, it's not going to take long at all. See, Dr. Lupo, this thing got that jumped up because, well, YouTube likes videos, or Google likes videos. They own YouTube, but see, he's right there. I mean, that's his website. So it's that, but it's also, you notice here, Dr. Lupo, and we did this for him, claimed his Google My Business. And you may never even heard of Google My Business, right?
Not really.
Well, so our Dr. German in Glasgow, Kentucky hasn't claimed his. I can tell about two ways. It's got his name backwards and shown a dirt road. But it also is asking me, do I own this business? Right? So you have or should have somewhere a Google My Business account, right? And that's where we want to find that and claim it. I am assuming you don't have that because this is all news to you.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Okay. Well, Google runs the search engine world, so we got to get right with Google. We got to do the Google My Business, etc. Erie, PA, orthopedic surgeon. So I'm going to switch to service line and see who does Google show. And I can go into more places. What I'm looking right now, see if I can find it. So there's Dr. Lupo. There's your practice site. And I'm just kind of scrolling down and see there's Dr. Bloomstein. He hasn't claimed it either. See, backwards. That was another one, right?
Yep.
He's got his name right. So I do not see you.
Scroll. I'm not even showing up there.
You're not even showing up there. Erie, Pennsylvania, orthopedic surgeon.
Terrible.
Well, this might be a good. Check it out. Well,
that's my old address.
And you're permanently closed.
Right. I noticed that it was happening, and that's our old office, and now we're not in that office anymore.
Well, yeah, but what happened was Google, because this office was closed,
right?
Because they never found you, they assumed you went away.
Right, but here's the inconsistency that's quite annoying. The same truth pertains to Busick and Bloomstein. So scroll up on their name again, and it doesn't say that. So scroll up where in this area here, you saw Bloomstein and Busick's.
Yeah, well, actually, I had to add your name in order to.
Well, I guess I'm curious. Let's go back and just scroll up, and so where are we at here with Busick?
They say Myrtle. That's your new address, right? Myrtle Suite, L10.
Well, Lupo's is right. I'm not surprised, but where's Busick and Bloomstein? Busick and Bloomstein, they're my partners. They haven't done anything online more than me. They don't have their own site, so why did that happen to me and it didn't happen to them?
Okay, so, and again, this is Google is not perfect. They crawl everything. They make algorithm calculations. They found Dr. Bloomstein and a correct address.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a Google review, which you have 0 because you're permanently closed, according to this. So in Google's eyes, he was still active. You're permanently closed. They couldn't find anything on it.
Mm-hmm.
The good news is these are all simple fixes.
Good. I'm good to hear that.
They're all simple. It's just, filling out a form. The hardest part about it is waiting because if your phone number, and I assume that everybody has the same one, if that's a call tree, then Google can't robot call you. Mm-hmm. So that means that when we go to claim your site, they will mail you something. So and it's going to be a little awkward with you because it says permanently closed. What we'll have to do is update the generic information. Then, hopefully, if it sticks, they'll send a postcard to you with a code. That's how they verify it's really you. Mm-hmm. And then with that code, now you'll own it, claim it. That is a critical part of a website. And that's what most people who build websites screw up. They know how to make a pretty website. They know how to put titles in. They know how to do it, but they don't know how to market. That's where it's broke, right? Mm-hmm. So that's where we look at all of these things all together. All right, so let me go to the next thing. Let's just look at service line. So when we look for knee surgeon in Erie, Pennsylvania, you're going to have ads up here, right? And so they tend to show, depending on how much money they spend, I typically will see Nashville ads first, even though I'm obviously searching in Erie. It's just how Google works, but we'll also see some. So here in the 3-pack, Dr. Lupo, here's St. Vincent Orthopedic Institute. This says West 26th Street. Is that right?
That's the old address.
That's the old address.
Mm-hmm.
So they're messed up too. The website still works. All right. Scrolling down, we've got UPMC. So that was them running an ad, but they're also capturing things up here. And then we've got your practice in the third position.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you notice it's got meet our doctors, contact us, services, etc. So even though the website's out of date, hasn't been updated, Google has indexed into second level stuff. So that's good. So from a Google perspective, this site could be fixed a little better, made work better. Now I'm going to change it from knee to orthopedics. Much broader search, many more people doing that. You're ranking. And you're in fourth position under here. Health grades is popping up. Vitals is popping up. These two should never be in front of you. The reason is because nobody's doing anything on this website. Haven't touched it, haven't done anything to it, right? So I'll show you how we get around that. So if I look for spine surgeon, Atlanta, Georgia, small town, virtually no competition anywhere, right? So when I do a search for that, I get my 3-pack, which is also based on proximity to Center City. There's Atlanta Spine Institute, and you see, and he's either 1 or 2, so today Yelp is there. Here's Dr. James in Atlanta, Georgia, and he is above Emory Healthcare, Piedmont, everyone. He's always number 1 or number 2. And you notice that he has a rating of 4.9 with 2,965 reviews. You got a lot of reviews on your website. You have 244. He has you beat. What happens is every clinic day, somebody walks in and sees Dr. James, and as they're checking out, they say, would you mind leaving a review for Dr. James? So on the 25th, 2 days ago, he got 4 reviews. On the 21st, he got 2 reviews. On the 20th, he got 3. On the 18th, he got 2 and took a week off or something. Just little dribs and drabs. But Google sees that this site is active and its content is changing almost daily. Active site, right? Plus, you notice up here, Dr. His name MD, so both variations. Where is he? What does he do? Basics for marketing, basics for SEO. And so that's where you have to have a site that does this. Your current site doesn't.
Right.
This and unfortunately, that's typical, right? Easy to fix. Make a page. Total joint replacement. Virtually no one searches for that. That's a medical term. More so than hip replacement, knee replacement, shoulder replacement, right? That's what people say. Not doctors. Doctors say joint, total joint. They don't even use the word total. So they need to be found by all of the common search terms that your patients look for. So that kind of swings us out of service line into what we call treatment and conditions. So if I look for knee replacement surgery, Erie, Pennsylvania, very general, but it's obviously not knee pain, which is a dumb search term to worry about, because knee pain can be cured by Tylenol, right? So knee replacement surgery is what I would look for if I'm pretty sure my knee's gone. So we have obviously some competitors up here. There's Dr. Lupo. Their website mentions knee replacement. It literally tells you that. Now, the interesting thing about this is that's going to go away for change because it no longer does, because they removed our content. Orthosurgery.net, total joint, says replacement, etc. But you notice that this says hip replacement everywhere, hip replacement, hip replacement, hip prosthesis. So you're ranking, and also you've got knee replacement on the front page. So you have multiple pages. So you actually rank well for the largest search term.
Mm-hmm.
You do the worst for the individuals on the website. That's terrible. Service line, not good, but you show up. Treatments and conditions, that's where you actually do good with an existing site. So, hip replacement. Dr. Lupo pops up there for a page that when I click to it, it's no longer there. So that's going to slip. This right here, hip treatments, minimally invasive hip replacement surgery, that one is not there. That's our content. So it's obviously gone. So these are going to start slipping, and these guys are going to jump up. That means we should see, through no fault of your own, total joint replacement page for ortho search going up. You are not on here anywhere because you are assumed closed.
Okay.
Google has you in about the worst spot you could be in. But again, easy to fix. You would just do the right things, SEO, localization, put some content in, keep it going.
And I want to get specific then on the strategy for that partially completed website that I have, whether it's usable, fixable. Like I said, I got several $1,000s into that. Is it usable? Do I own it? Can you tweak it? And or what is the strategy?
Right. Okay. So I am pulling up, searching for the link to that Amy sent me. Inactive site. There we go. Okay. There it is, right there. Okay. So this is the iHealth Spot website that they obviously never launched. See right here, that's a placeholder photo. They didn't even buy the photo.
Yeah, and it's just because I couldn't get anywhere with making the changes I wanted to make. That's why it never went anywhere. And I'm like, I'm not going to have you put this live because I knew once I did, I'd never get any changes done the way I wanted them because then they would very much just consider me a done deal. So it's sort of frozen in time. There's some things that have to be changed on it because I technically don't do sports medicine at this point because our practice has become subspecialized. So my practice is now focused on hip replacement, knee replacement, shoulder replacement, along with, general orthopedics, fracture care, things like that. Knee arthroscopy, yes, those kind of things. Technically sports medicine, not really, but so, there's some changes that would have to be made here, but do I own this? I'd like to think that I do.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just take a look at what they got, and they put some tag restoring MO. There's phone number, request. This is all cookie cutter stuff from their website. What's Collins? Conlon. Yes. Okay. So I'm showing you. This is a project we have going on right now. So this is Dr. Conlon in Ohio. He has a website with iHealth Spot, and they are, kind of the same boat. They have this blank video that doesn't work, never worked. They've never fixed it. They charged him a bunch. They kept everything.
Although this is up and running, right?
It is up and running, yes. So we took it. And we just finally got them to release Dr. Conlon's website like a couple of hours ago, maybe just an hour ago. They're so slow.
Well, that was my next question. How long is that going to take to do?
Dr. Conlon went on vacation around, he was out for 2 weeks. He came back on the 18th. So about the 1st of June, he said, I want y'all to take this, rebuild it, just get it away from them. And he's in very much the same kind of boat as you. that his practice is doing this, and he wants to do that, and then the hospital relationship or something, but he's just at full speed ahead. So what we did was we just snatched it, right? We didn't do any design change. We did a couple of little things. You can say it's slightly different than that, but they had this stuff: procedure information, patient education from the doctor's desk. If we go over here and look at you, down here, it's got patient education, which not working, surgical techniques not working, etc. This is their licensed content. And what we notice is none of it works. It's all broken. It's been broken. Yeah, I can click all day long. So we trashed all of it. We didn't use any of their stuff. They've got some animation stuff. So what we've got is knee conditions need treatments. There they all are, and they all work. And
I think at some point, these kind of links on my site worked at some point. I thought.
I don't know. They're not even showing up. These are dynamically pulled in from their library. Their library is turned off on your site. Right?
Well, and unless I go live through that company, then I'm not going to get that library. Obviously,
you're not, but you wouldn't get it anyway because it's licensed. And we replaced it anyway with our library.
Exactly.
So it works out, right?
Okay.
And the difference is, I'm showing you on Dr. Conlon, they don't work. So they're not really that helpful anyway. So that's where, to your question, we pull stuff in. We also see under hip replacement, knee replacement. We took, and we invited out iHealthSpot to show us or tell us, do we have any content that is your intellectual property? Let us know. The library, obvious, is theirs. This patient or whatever it is from the doctor's desk, this is supposed to be a bunch of bloggy junk. See, they have these things, which they just dumped all this on here. We have lots of blog stuff too. So we could duplicate all of the features that they have from a content perspective. Yes, we can do the same thing. But the rest of it should be yours.
Right.
Stock and barrel. We have not had any pushback from them. You paid for a design. They cannot tell you can't have the design. We worked with them. We've been very cordial and nice to them and said, here, we're doing this. Let us know if we're out of line on anything. So your design isn't even finished. And look,
along those lines, you have the ability to get in here and make whatever aesthetic changes I need to make or want to make, right? I want to get out of sports. You have that ability or not? No,
we have the ability to steal it.
Sorry. Okay, but my question is, you have to get involved at the fundamental software level to make changes to the site. Do you have that capability?
Okay. Let me just make sure we're saying the same thing. In order for us to do what I'm showing you we're doing, see where it says conlon.wpengine.com. That's our web server. This Tim Conlon MD is on iHealthSpot's web server.
Right.
We went in, and I'm going to show you on yours, we went in and we grabbed their code.
So that was kind of where I was getting.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, that we have the ability to go in and grab it. The only difference is we don't use .NET, Nuke, Antique, Windows Server, highly targeted by viruses. We're not going to use any of their stuff. We will rebuild it. It will look the same. The CSS right here, which is basically the look and feel, that's what this means. We have full access to that. We can get it all, but what we do is rebuild your site.
Right.
We don't go into their anything. I don't know that they would let you do that. So it says the hosting contract has expired on December 2018. So they likely had, you paid X dollars to get your website built, and then every month you pay Y dollars for hosting and service.
Right.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So here's the difference between us. Well, we don't care if we build your website or not. We can, obviously, we can build a website. But what we look at is a marketing strategy based on ROI. Step one, obviously, is getting the website built and getting it right with Google. All of the things that we see, they never did. This is kind of, and I'll be glad to send this to you, but this is how we work. The website is one component of an overall strategy.
Let me ask you a couple of pointed questions because I'm going to run out of time. I have to see patients at a few minutes after 1 o'clock.
Absolutely.
What kind of time frame do you think you and I working together on turning this website, you guys recreate it and then make some changes to it to make it better the way it should have been to get it up and running? What kind of turnaround time for something like that?
Well, we like 3 to 4 weeks, but we can do it easily in 2.
Mm-hmm.
We did Dr. Collins in 2.
Yeah, it's pretty quick. And then what kind of expense to me for that? Let me know. I have no idea, honestly.
Well, that's all right. I will send you our pricing and what we do. But this is the thing I want to tell you up front. We don't engage to build a website and call it done. We build an ROI-based strategy. The end goal is we want to make sure we're bringing in the additional patients and cases to offset the cost. So it's a little different model. All of these things, and I've got a time thing here. Now, because you are a Smith & Nephew client, and we're a Smith & Nephew vendor and all of that, I'm going to send you these, but these development costs will be different. They'll be lower. But I can't put that in writing and say that because you're Smith & Nephew. But we'll go through this, just use this kind of as a guide. But what we do is, and the very first thing we do is get you going with reputation management and all of the Google stuff. This is completely different from what anybody else does. And then, based on that, assuming we hit our numbers that we set and our goals that we collectively agreed to, then we go to our second month where the cost increases. Cost increases specifically to run ad campaigns and start getting people to come to you. This should result in incremental case volume by month 2.
Now, I guess I just want to look at these numbers here a little bit. In order to maximize my internet presence, are you saying that it requires me to pay Google $500 a month?
No, you're not paying Google. You would be paying us. This is one of the things that we do. Where are you seeing this? This right here?
Yeah. So is that?
No, this is the strategy that we do. We built your website. When it says see Google and initiate claiming of all Google My Business, that means we optimize, like I was showing you on here, where you don't show up because your pages are titled wrong, they don't have the right content, they're not broke out right. We do all of it right from the first place. Then we tell Google you're there. Then we keep telling them they're there. We claim your Google My Business, and when I say we claim it in your name. You own everything. And all of the doctor rating sites. So on all the doctor rating sites, what we just get is called NAP, name, address, phone number. what we do is make sure that when someone searches for you, by us getting everything right, you'll start showing up instead of this guy. And we'll start showing up for your U.S. news. That will go away. Your actual website will start showing up. Right now, and you can see this, right now, when somebody searches you by name, and I would ask you, please do this at your own computer, or ideally a computer you've never used before. Just look and see how, because this Glasgow, Kentucky guy may not show up, but he might. I want to know where you're sitting, what happened. But you see that U.S. News is the only one relevant to you that comes up. These are not you.
This is me here.
Yeah.
Health grades, that's me.
That's you. And then the only site that you're actually a business you're associated with, not a review site. So what we do is make sure all of these things are up to date and pointing at the right place. 2315 Myrtle Street, Erie, Pennsylvania. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that your phone number?
Yes. Yep, that's right.
All right, so what we want to do is make sure all of this is correct, and where available, add a link to your website. So you notice that on the one, that a lot of these are pointing to OrthoSurge Inc. for some of the unclaimed stuff. Yours, and even this guy hasn't claimed his. So if we claim the David German MD on Google, this guy should go away, because he's not working with Google either. So we should see, so that's what all of this means. I'll detail all of this out.
Yeah, because I'll need to quantify this. I can't total this up and figure out what it's going to be.
And I don't want you to do that. And this, again, time frame, first month, second month, that's not in stone. That's how fast we can do it. But if we want to go first 3 months, do this. Second 3 months, do that, whatever. But what we have is our goal in marketing programs is to do everything. If you were to hire a person to market you, this is what they do. And so we have 2 levels of program, and it is a commitment by the doctor to time and effort, all ROI based. And I'll skip to the bottom. You can fire us with 2 weeks notice if we don't deliver. And you can ask Dr. Lupo how sweet we were to him when he fired us. Because, you know, we hope we make you enough money that you're a client forever. But sometimes things happen. So I want to send you this. I'll be glad to talk to you some more. What I wanted to do today, and this is what I told Amy and Roger, I just kind of wanted to raise your awareness, show you where your gaps are. If you find somebody local and you know, it works out better for you, or you just want to get, you know, whatever it is that you want to do, we're still going to help you because we're a Smith & Nephew partner. But if we want to build a website and do a marketing strategy, Smith & Nephew has nothing to do with that, right? They will, and Amy, and I'm not going to speak for Amy, but once we got you set up, if we wanted to run some co-op ad campaigns, that's conceivable. But you have to have a website, web presence in order to do that anyway. So there you go. As far as your investment into HealthSpot, they have nothing. They have removed everything. Really, about the only thing we can grab is the look and feel. But all of this, hip replacement, all this is generic content that they have, that we have the same thing, so we can rebuild the site. So that's where I'm telling you, I want to disregard the cost for building a web presence.
Right.
Because your web presence. But what I want you to tell me is, you said, I wanted them to do something, they wouldn't do it, couldn't do it, delayed, etc. What was that?
just getting any creative changes done was a difficult task. I had to schedule an appointment to talk to an intermediary. Okay, and that intermediary person would then behind the scenes talk to the creative person and then get back to me, usually with not having done the things we had discussed. So so there was no direct access. It was very inefficient. They didn't have any creativity to the things that I wanted to do. So maybe because I wasn't on the phone with a creative person, but you know, a creative person will say, well, don't do this, you should do this, and here I'm going to show you what it's going to look like, and boom, 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 this is what it's going to look like, and then it's done. And it was, with them, it was like pulling teeth. You know, I asked for some photos or some generic anatomy pictures to put up on my website. I get emailed some big data dump of like 100, 200 photos that I have to sift through that are not even pertinent to what I'm asking for. And that's just not service, you know?
Yeah. We saw that. We saw that with Dr. Conlon. There were some account managers. So let me tell you about, just for us. I run the company. Mitch is operations manager. We both are graphic artists and writers, etc. And if you need a commercial jingle done, we can do that too. I'm sitting next to our video studio, where Sarah, our video editor, is sitting. Michael, our graphic artist, is currently out of the office. But we have all of these people. They're literally right here in our building. HealthSpot probably has contractors, and that's why they say, I got to get back to you with that. We're not going to ever do that. They're right here.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, we're legit. We have actual people who are working here, and it's just not, we are not, I hate to keep saying this, but most of these people out there are not a real business. They don't have, so I turn my camera on. There's me, there's Mitch, Sarah's walking by down there and going into our conference room. So, it's, you know, we're legit.
So
they're accessible. I talk to them like every day, pretty much. So they're extremely accessible and responsive.
Amy calls me at 8 o'clock at night, and you know, but that's how we work. That's how we work.
I think that helps. I think if we need, because if I got to get the set up and running, we have to do it back and forth on, you know, and I need to be able to, you know, reach you, and we need to be able to talk about what to put on there, what not to put on there.
Okay. No, well, and so here's what I want to tell you. We're not going to limit your creativity, but what we got to do is, it doesn't matter what color or how pretty or how ugly the website is. If we don't get people to it, what's the point, right?
Right.
So that's where, and when you look at this, we have bi-weekly or weekly meetings. Emails, you throw those at us all day long, right? And we do, with this Zoom, this is where we would get me on the phone, Michael on the phone, whoever on the phone, and we just mock it up. I mean, these are things we were playing with yesterday. We're accessible, and we get things done, and we get things done fast. And to your preference. But we are going to tell you when you're spinning your wheels doing something where we really need to be doing something else. So we're always going to be honest with you, and Amy can vouch for that.
Brutally honest, but I like it.
Yeah, we don't mince words about some of this stuff, but we do want to. You know, it's yours, but you're not going to go do layers of junk. Like, I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the girl's, Lindsay or something at iHealthSpot. It's like, just quit. You get out. Stop talking to us. Put us in touch with whoever is in charge of these things. And it turns out it's a completely different company. So they contract their stuff. It's ridiculous. So that's why you don't talk to anybody, because they're not there.
Well, I guess
don't contract with anybody. We all have, you know, it's just ridiculous, right?
Well, it sounds encouraging, and that's I like that. I guess.
Yeah, we have matching shirts.
let me know. You'll send me more specifics on, the cost and whatnot. I'd like to think that these monthly costs certainly decrease once your website's up and running. Hosting this thing monthly isn't an arm and a leg, right?
It's ROI based. Let me send you some stuff. We'll talk some more. We got our goal accomplished today, kind of getting the lay of the land, understanding your problems. We showed some of the fixes that are obvious, and we'll just have some. We'll follow up. Now, if you also have, and it sounds like you were not too worried about it, but it would probably be good to say, check with AHN or whoever's there. They're going to ding you because you don't want to spend a lot of money if you're going to get shut down. That would just be insult to injury. Right.
Well, I guess I do have to look into that. Now, I guess it's one of these things, though. It's delicate because the more I look into it, the more it could be a self-fulfilling issue that I created by the inquiry. You understand?
I do.
And I'm sure that Dr. Lupo is moving forward without any concern for that. And maybe it's logistically not an issue. I think one of these guys with AHN said something about if you have a link to the AHN site somehow that's okay. Which I guess sounds all right. I said, well, it's fine. I said, but whatever site I do isn't something that I want to be, accessed through the AHN website. I'm not going to be restricted that way, which totally defeats the purpose. So, I guess I don't know how much I want to ask that question or not. It certainly would be good to know before spending a bunch of money. I'll try to ask.
They probably just don't want you to put stuff up about them, and it just needs to be probably solely about you and your practice.
Yes.
Yeah, they just want control about. I think that most of the hospital systems want control of what is out there about themselves.
Right. Yeah. Now, I think you'll be fine, but any information or intelligence you can gather, right?
I'm going to try to find out.
Yeah. So now this. Let me ask you one last question. I'm sorry I'm keeping you over. You probably meant to get off from it 30, 40 minutes ago. The hosting, and I'm going to go ahead and stop